Hey guys and gals, let's build the money tree by Lego, set number 40648, and it contains roughly about 336 bricks. So this is what we're getting here. And the manual is kind enough to show what pieces we're doing. So bag 1 does the pot. 2, we start building up the base of the tree. 3 is the innards, and then the 4th is finishing up the project. And this build is broken down obviously into 4 bags, but there's 2 bag number 1s, and I believe there was 2 bag number 3s or 4s, I can't remember. So, and I didn't have that one keyed up, because I honestly didn't know I was going to get to it. So, this is, I think, part of their Chinese festival thing. And so far, the ones that I have put together have been very delightful builds. So I don't think this one is going to be that exception. So let's get started. Hope everyone's having a great holiday. I know I am. It's just things have been... Honestly, I'm getting Legoed out. I just got 2 more offers I need to possibly accept. I heard they were going to be decent themes, so I may just do them. So, usually January, February, March are my slow months. I just don't want to get too much in my inventory. I got some here wants to just rattle up against the wall. It's got that ticking noise. Sometimes it's annoying when you hear it constantly tick. It's like having a kid constantly doing this. It just continuously do it. And that's what it kind of feels like. I like these half-round plates. Those are pretty cool with the half-round jumper plates. Lego's coming out with some pretty crazy parts. Stuff I wish was around when I was a kid. Matter of fact, that'd make a great base for a sink, like for a faucet. I saw that and thought that'd be really cool. So, for those who are just joining in or don't know how I do things on here, this is basically a build. It's a live review of a set. So this is the set we're doing. This is a pre-review. This has been given to me by the Lego Group for review. So the whole intent is to build the set live and to see what the build's about and if it's something that you may be interested in. And I usually do storytellings and stuff on here. It depends on what's happened or what my mood is and stuff like that. So, like right now, really not a whole lot. Basically, I'm just building stuff here right now and just enjoying it. And maybe we'll pick up some good building techniques on these here. And we got more purple things going in here. This kind of reminds me of the Botanical collection in a way, loosely. So that's what the jumper plates in the mill are for. Wish we had those when I was little. Hoping you can see everything, because I want you to see the whole flavor too. I don't want to just deprive you of your viewing pleasures. Okay. There's one round brick. I mean, they're bright yellow, right? So we should be able to see those. If not, then it must have rolled into another bin. Well, let me go find that real quick. Yeah, it was in bin 3. So, yeah, I got confused when I was doing the thumbnails, so you just don't know with those round parts. They usually roll off. Wait a minute. Wait, it's supposed to go like that. Okay, it's like, am I doing something wrong here? No. And I found one of these on the floor, so that's probably where that goes. Sorry about the camera angle. We're going to be building up the set, and it's not going to do any good if I just build it straight down. And a lot of people just like listening to these just as a background noise filler. So yeah. I think we're building a mirror here. So let's build a couple of these right now. And you don't have to do this. If you choose not to. But for me, it speeds up the build. I don't want to have to spend all night building the same step like 2 or 3 times, or even more. So I just kind of just make a little assembly line here. And I'm missing a red 1x4. Oh, I see what's going on here. Never mind, we're not supposed to do that. I got confused here. We're supposed to do one of these, or 2 of them. Let me, Lego, you got to make this a little more sense here. Oh, wait a minute, no, wait a minute, hold on. It's not that I'm doing mirrors. That goes like that. And these go here. Okay, it's supposed to have a step effect. And then we stick the jumper plates here. Okay. So maybe the mirror I did not work well on this one. Already look, we're going to need to make that anyway, so that's what we're supposed to do here. And there's supposed to be 1x1s that go in there. Yeah, I've been building probably about almost 30 sets now, and I really do miss building my own stuff. Jay, why don't you just quit? I'm not a quitter. That's what it looks like there. Now we got to focus on the other side here. Same thing pretty much. Yeah, see, this one's built completely different here. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, I think that's good. And this should just fit in there without a hole there, but we have a hole down there. Alright, so what did I do wrong here? Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I bet you anything that it shows that this is on the bottom. It makes sense to put it there. But no, it goes there. Well, we have a 2-plate reveal on that side. So, putting that there. Now this should fit in there. Not too bad. And then we take some parabola dishes and we just cover these up like that. You know what? If this was like a tan or a pink or something, you can make this and make a nice little Easter basket. And 1x2 plates. So don't get me wrong, this is a pretty fun build here. It's just, this is basically a display piece. I doubt there's going to be any play value with this. Not when I'm tripping over bins and stuff, but I doubt there's going to be a lot of play value going on. I mean, you could probably put it in your city or something as a display piece. In fact, they even have the float set. The Lunar New Year floats, I believe it's what it's called. You can use that. Put that on a float would be really cool. Okay, now we got to build the next portion. Alright, there's two of these that are mirrors. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I think most of the country is probably getting wintered out. I think it said 25, 26 states were getting hit with. There was a term for it, I can't remember, but it was something with blizzard in it. Like it's supposed to be some nasty winter storm for the holidays. And out in my woods, we didn't get anything like that. We got a nasty earthquake. Not where I'm at, but I think up in Northern California by Eureka. What was it, like a 6.1, and did some damage. Out where I'm at, we had a 7 point something. It didn't do really any damage out in my area. Because buildings out here are like robust and center block and just heavily reinforced. Out here they're really strict on building guides, building codes. I mean, certain parts of your home out here you got to have them anchored down to like 4 feet of concrete and all that stuff, so it's not meant to fall apart. Still got a bunch of these corner tiles left. That goes in like that. Ooh, I like the way that sounded. That's pretty cool, actually. Looks pretty good. Right. And we got to note the orientation. Here's the front. It's some odd reason, but you got to do that right there. So it's just tiles thrown in here. So this set does not come with a brick separator, sadly. So if you make a mistake, yeah, you know, I mean, they got a bunch of these weird plates in here too, like, not sure what's with all the corners and doodads and all that stuff. But that's how it is inside. You think the whole thing would be tiled in, so there's probably something more to it. We had a bunch of these extra 1x1s. Did I forget anything? Oh, we got to put them in there. Well, let's pop those in real quick. And I don't know what this goes to. It was floating in the box. It's either a mistake or maybe this thing's got a lift arm or something to help lift up the project. And that's what we have remaining for bag 1. Okay, now let's start bag 2. Doesn't look too bad. As a matter of fact, maybe I can just drag it closer here right now. Now remember, I'm not a professional, so let me refocus so you get a better picture here. Let me just keep these closer to me and keep the build closer to you. Okay, we got a sub-step here. Yeah, honestly, it feels like I'm never going to get caught up with the filming stuff at all. I mentioned I think I have after this, after I get done with this and the review, I'll have 16 more videos left to film. Mainly, I can mention them now, Super Mario sets. LEGO decided to finally release the building guides for us, so now we can build them. I was given a bunch of them bad reviews because there wasn't anything provided in the box. And 2, I don't have a starter course. Starter course wasn't what really ticked me off because I really wanted just to build it and see. But when there's little stuff that you can do about it, yeah. Kind of want to see how strong they make this tree. And it goes on like that. Okay, I think this Technic beam is supposed to go in there like this. I don't know yet. I don't see any sign of it. Now, I've done trees in LEGO before, in building guide form, and they're not particularly easy to do in building guides. Okay. So, I think I did one of my spruce trees, the bigger one, and there's a giant one that I never did a tutorial on, and I'm just still kind of debating if I should do a video tutorial on that one. So I'll know how to take it apart and then write up the building guide. Because having the physical model doesn't really do justice. So I'm taking it goes like this. I mean, it only makes sense. There we go. Just got to get these corners here filled in. And I got to make a bunch of these here, a bunch of leaf things. Now, it's asking for 2 of those. And what we'll do is we'll stick that. It's asking for a carrot top, and the reason why is that it goes all the way down into the pumpkin or melon or whatever you want to call it, and basically it just prevents that from coming apart, and it looks better on the top too. You can just also pre-start it too, makes it a little easier, and just press that down in there. There you go. Earth green 1x2 plates with bow. Pretty cool. They put that in there probably to strengthen that up. Leaf pieces don't have the best support, so you have to reinforce them a bit. And all the graphics you see on the parts like this are printed. I got that one upside down, so the little lines thing has got to go at the bottom. Something like that. Hoping this is not going to be like a fragile build. And we have to put these nice beautiful decorative round coin tiles on there. Does it really matter which way they go? Not really. But I'm going to try to stick them inside the notch here. Oh yeah, I guess it goes in the notch. Never mind. And then it goes... I'm following the instructions exactly. I'll save the fun stuff when you do the mocks. And Jay, when are you going to get to those mocks? I honestly don't know. This channel here is starting to slowly grow, so hopefully it'll be soon, and then I can just keep all the reviews here. The unboxings will still be on the main. But this channel here would just be like, we're doing the unboxing and the review all in one build. Okay. So, the one in the back is actually easy to see. So it goes right here. Okay, and this one goes here. Well, at least we're getting some of the tree put together. We can't just stop now, huh? We got to keep going. Alright, doesn't fit on that. Fits here, but... Oh, wait a minute, I'm doing it wrong. Okay, it wants it like that. 1x2 brick, 1x1 plate in dark brown, and set it in like that. I was kind of confused there, and I saw the light brown peeking through. I'm thinking, oh, that's probably what they want. And yes, it is a bedside build again. So we're doing this late at night. I'm going to try to do 3 tonight, just so I can get them done and get them out of here. Okay, I do see the Technic brick coming up. This and the Technic Neil. Something like that. Well, I guess that doesn't fit in. Did I do it wrong? Well, I guess it shoved that all the way in there. Making sure. That just sits in there too. There's nothing to anchor that down. I think because we got to make the brackets for it. Let me get that out of the way because I'm tripping over it. Yes, many times I've been missing this. Now I have it. Surprisingly enough, but watch, I need it. It's gone. Which is how it usually goes. You need it, that's when it's disappeared. So they're going to use these to cover that up. Alright, 2 more leaf assemblies. So far, you know, the build stuff. This is not too bad. The build is slow. We're doing a lot of sub-steps though, but I'm not overwhelmed. It's just wholesome all around. So it's not like it's strenuous or anything like that. So if you think about getting this set here and thinking, oh, I don't know. I mean, the thing is though, it's got a good source of parts for trees. You can even just take this tree, take the decorations off, and just use it as a regular tree for your Lego city too. Pretty much you can do that. Lego's all about using the imagination. I know some people who build with instructions and that's all they do, but here we don't do that. So I'm looking at a set and seeing what it can be. Some people just see what it is. So as far as for small and large pieces, there's not a whole... I would say that this is average. You want it to be average. You don't want to have nothing but large pieces. Usually a lot of the little kitty sets do. And small pieces are pretty much micro builds. And I forgot to put these in here. hold on. Okay. Yeah, tomorrow I gotta finish up Christmas shopping and get it done. I'm a procrastinator, guys and gals. I procrastinate a lot. I get hooked up more on the job than anything else. Yeah, but this is starting to become more of a job. I think it's just deadlines. Like I had to fill out a mandatory survey and stuff on the land. So if you ever want to get into that, just remember there's a lot of mandatory stuff that you're going to have to do. It's like having your vegetables, you know. I mean, you're going to have to eat them. Sorry to burst your bubble, but you're going to have to. Not trying to scare anybody off, but you know, they don't just give you Lego sets for free and that's just it. You're going to have to work for it too. This is like an advertisement. It's cheaper to send products to people like us and then say, here, review it, write your story up on it. I've been thinking about doing a written blog post too on my experiences on putting this stuff together. I'm not a writer by any means, so probably stay away from that. Well, that's not going in there. There we go. Kind of mushy so far. I hope we're going to plate that in and stuff because that's kind of just flimsy. It's hard to put those in there. There we go. See, that's the same thing I do with my trees, though. I just kind of build assemblies and make it easy for the builder. When you build something as a mock, it's a little different. Because basically I'm just putting parts on. And then when it comes to a tutorial, I have to rethink my strategies and say, okay, well, this is a tutorial now. Now I got to break things down where the user can understand it. And I think this may wrap up bag 2. Yep, sure did. That's what was remaining. Okay, here we got bag 3. Okay. I had somebody ask me, can I get you butter dishes for Christmas? And I'm like, sure. As long as there's no butter in them, I'll take them. We got to make 4 of these, so we're going to prepare them now. So this bag, as you can obviously tell, is going to be leaf pieces. Now, there's a thing when I talk about retention on these is, you know, how much retention am I going to have when building this? And it depends. Trees are a little bit different. It depends. If you're just building this every step, it just gets boring. If we're changing it up, it's not too bad. So like right now, for example, we're building 4 leaves. As long as I'm not just doing this straight on, it's not too bad. But trees are like an exception to the rules. Sometimes it's just easier to set it on there first. Pre-build it and set it on there like that. Because I'm doing 4 here, it says 4 right there, so I'm just going to do all 4 of them real quick. And no need to put 1 in and install it, put 2 in and install it, you know, because that's just wasting time. Because if I have to flip back and forth, yeah, there's not a whole lot of leaf pieces in here. Another 4, so we do another set of branches here real quick. And next is these. goes on the end like that. So let's make... Okay, what I'm going to do is combine steps 49 and 50, just so these don't come off. So it'd just be faster if I do that. I use the same type of arch in my Amityville Horror House. That instruction guide's still selling, which is cool. I'm still getting asked about the farmhouse. I'm like, ooh, I'm swamped with sets. I was hoping to get that done by the end of the year, and it just never happened. It's going to take a while. I have the first floor, and I got the roof done. I don't have the second floor. I have it started. I have the framework started. It's all about raising walls and adding the bathroom vanities and stuff. Doors and windows. There we go. And that's pretty much what it is. It's just getting it done. I sure like this printed stuff on these. These are pretty cool. And I have to say it though, about printed stuff on Lego. You know, some people say, well, yeah, but you can't reuse that piece. Well, if it's printed like these, will I ever use them for something? I don't know. But for something like this, makes a good piece of artwork for a house, like a picture. And you can just take two of these and just offset them a little bit like this on a wall. It'll look really good. So you don't have to think, oh, I'm wasting time putting or these. And it's like a sticker. You could leave a sticker on. Not to say that the silk screening on these won't fade off over time, but okay, we managed to survive that. And then they go in now. Okay, we'll just pick a corner here, and then we'll just alternate them. Like this one goes here. So this is how I do my tree tutorials here. In order to simplify it, you don't need to. It's like, okay, guys, we're gonna make today. Okay, let's make one of these, and at the end I'll say, okay, make 5 of them, make 10 of them, make 20 of them. You know, it's better to make one and just do that instead of running through and say, let's make another one. The earlier version of my trees, I would do that. Alright, so now we got to build more of this here. Alrighty. And I wish I was in this program years ago, but I don't know. It's a lot of work. So remember what I said one time. Nobody just gives you Lego sets for free. You know what? This is the same thing we just built. Just they flipped it around. Of course, I do the same thing too, because it simplifies it up for the user. But you're good at mock building, you can interpret what the guide is trying to tell you. And it goes like this. And then means this is probably going to fish right over the top. So we're going to have to do a little ring toss here. I can try tossing it on there, but I don't think it matters which way this goes. That locks all these branches good. Now see how strong this is? I mean, the only thing it's going to break off is right here at the base. But so far, it's pretty good. I'd say it's probably about 5 inches, 6 inches tall. Not too bad. And we're going to have to make a bunch of these and set them in there. And okay, these are different. I thought they were mirrors. They are the same, but they have the tiles different, but they're, you know, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and let's take a look and be sure. I'm just going to go ahead and prepare all this now, and then all we got to do is just add the different tiles to them. And we'll see if we can get this done here. I looked at this one on the box, I thought, oh, this one's going to be real easy. I think it's just time consuming at this point. So, and merely when I do my reviews though, they're just merely as a guide, you know, these are not meant, you know, I'm not a professional product reviewer or anything like that. Remember, I would have somebody in the audience at least every year that would just literally critique what I'm doing. I'm like, at the end of the day, this is just for fun, you know. And I may make a mistake when reviewing something, and it happens. It's just, it happens, it happens. I'm not going to sweat over it. Some people will film the same scene 5 million times until it's perfect. There's some out there, if something breaks, I had something break when I was doing the review, and I thought, I'm not editing that out. That's faulty. It's supposed to be a review like that, you know. And I got more stuff falling down on me over here. I'm trying to keep the wire from becoming a nuisance, so I'm trying to get it out of the way here. Well, it's best I'm going to go to get it. And no, I'm not going to staple it to the wall. Alright, let's take 2 of these and we're going to put the tile on here now. Yeah, so far, if you're into this cultural stuff, yes, really good build. Okay, I'm enjoying this. This is not really a theme I would ever, you know, really go out of my way, but I may change my mind eventually because it's got a good build experience, you know. But one of the things that I'm going to just say is that since it's got foliage and stuff like that, it's going to get, this is starting to get a little redundant now. It's not like it's a Minecraft set or anything like that, but now I want to keep these separate here because they're different. Okay, so now we're back on step 59, and we got to note the orientation of the container because it's wanting us to put these here. So I think this one goes right here, right in there, and that's going to be a bit of a chore. Okay, got it in. I don't know. I mean, it looks good. And they show this one right here. I think I made a mistake. This one here is correct. This one here is actually supposed to go over here. Now I could just pop the tile off, but let's just make it harder and do it like this. So yeah, this is this is pretty pretty tedious, and these two go on the opposite sides. Goes like that, right down in that hole. There we go. I'll just do this one real quick, right on that little stick with upward shaft. We'll just, or plate with upward shaft. Just gonna have, don't press down too hard and bend your leaf pieces. You don't want to do that. put it back the way it was there. And so far, that's where we're at. Whew, that's not, I mean, it looks good. It's just, I let my hands cool down now. And then we got to build some columns in here. Lego needs to bring out a 1 by 2 by 2 column. Okay, now let me straighten out the bricks. And then we'll come in here and stick these in like that. I think, yeah, these go next here, and then you just have to wiggle them in. Well, it would have been easier if we shoved those in first, and then the corner pieces. So now you're going to see that it's starting to get pretty brittle now. Oh yeah, this is, let's leave that out. Let's try an example here. If I were to just push these in here, would this be easier? Yep, it's a lot easier than trying to wiggle them between two bricks. When I write up manuals, I write up in such a way that we're inside working out. That's outside working in. That's just not going to cut it. Okay. Okay, we survived with the first 3 bags. Just had a few incidences, but nothing too bad, and that's it. And that's what's remaining for bag 3. And then we have bag 4. I believe this one here was the one that had the 2 things, and you guessed it, more leaves. Okay, so we've got to get comfortable here. I mean, we're about 76% done with the book, 77, you know, the building guide. Okay. And we'll start with this one here and the Technic brick. Always try to match the picture up. I don't know how critical if this thing was off, but you got to be careful. But you got to make sure your holes are with that anyways. They want me to shove that in there and lock it through this side right here. Alright. Okay. Okay, we got to build 4 more leaf assemblies. And looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And we got 2 small ones here. So we're getting there. I think I can survive this. So in the review though, I'll probably just mention, yes, it does, building the limbs and stuff does get a bit repetitive. As you can tell, the results look pretty good, so it's worth it. It's how it is. And we're going to need to make more pumpkins, so let me just go ahead and make them all now. So this set has a lot of these little pumpkins too, so if you get this set just for parts, I have a tutorial on how to make a pumpkin patch. Well, here's all the pumpkins in one sitting. So what you could do, well, that right there is it, and I use those. The only thing you're missing is those weird stem pieces, but you pretty much have it set there. And I'm just going to start locking pumpkins in now. I'm going to make me an example real quick of one of these. Whoops, I put it in the wrong spot. What do? We just have to take that apart and Is it critical? Probably. I don't know. Matter of fact, you know what would make it easier? Is to pre-stem this first and just shove the little pumpkin in there like that. So what I'm going to do is just take, this one here is already half done, but we'll just pre-stem all this stuff up now. And then we'll shove that in there like that. See? Oh yes. I remember I said hi Janet in one of my videos and she said hi back to me. I didn't respond back yet because I've been so far behind. Hey, I'm reading the comments though, guys and gals. I mean, I'm still reading them. I'm trying to do is write up a client in such a way that I can answer questions on all my channels at one time, like a manager's type thing. So I can just, it'd be easy for me to edit messages like that, or not edit, but answer comments and stuff without have to switch profiles, where everything's there and then it'll just answer back. Now with this stuff pre-stemmed like this, you can see now I can actually just pop those on there real quick instead of doing one at a time, which felt like it was taking forever. So then I'm only focusing on one part, and here I am again, and I just got those done. And we got to do the coin thing next. So what you can do if you really want to speed through this is just do your coins real quick. Do all your coins like hardcore. And now we can stick them in. And the last one is we got to prepare it, but we'll do that here in a second. So it looks like it goes here. So we'll do all of these now. I've seen some trees in Lego where some of these guys literally, you could, that doesn't go that way. Where these guys, you could tell, literally spend a lot of time designing a tree. Just tons and tons and tons of those little leaf pieces on there. These little things here, I'm like, wow, you know, it looks like one of those old school mulberry trees. Yeah, I've been thinking about all the vacations that I went on with my dad and my parents and stuff, and when I was a kid, those things were always fun to do. Having family vacations and stuff. And I've been kind of thinking about more and more, it'd be nice if I had a kid or a child or something like that, but I can do all that awesome stuff. And I've been looking at means like, some people think I'm nuts, but adoption. It'd be nice to, instead of coming home to an empty dwelling all the time. Okay, let's go on here too. And yes, I would share my Lego. I mean, it'd be kind of cool. I was looking at the procedures and stuff, and not only that it's expensive, but it takes several weeks, and then they have somebody come out and inspect your house and do a background check on you and all that other stuff. And I'm just like, oh, now I see why people don't do it. Yeah. And if you want to cut through all the red tape, they can go through their foster care, foster to adopt. Let's do the tiles real quick. So I was looking at that, and you know, Well, if I ever had a kid, though, you better like Lego. Like, come over here and help me build this stuff. I got too much of it. I always picture myself getting married and like having a bunch of kids. All right. Yeah, these leaf pieces are kind of they're kind of getting annoying, but that's it. That's all we got to do now. And then they go on the corners in these little reveals right here. So it's like, where do they go? Why don't they go there? That's probably a good way to taper off the top. Usually doing the top of the trees are always hard to do because there's not really tiny ones of these. They're kind of adequate enough to do that. So there we go. And yeah, I've always wanted kids so we can go on those family trips, like go camping, go to Disneyland, you know. Do all that really fun stuff. Watch them go to prom, get the first car, go to college, you know. Okay, so these go in the tubes. Those studs go in these tubes, so you're going to have to kind of position it just right. So it just goes right in there. Okay. We got to build two of these things. Looks like little vases or sailboats. I'm going to start piecing these together. We can't put that on there yet. And that's a metallic gold. Always tempting to scrape off some of that gold and see what color the brick is underneath. Oh yeah, the gal I'm seeing, she's not really wanting kids. I'm like, no, you know, I always want to be the family guy, you know. There we go. Got to put that one on there. Okay. And those go on the back side right here. Looks like these are vases or something. And looks like they go on the inside like that. So this stud goes in that one right there. I don't think it's critical, but... And that's it. That's what it looks like in the picture. Straight on it looks kind of bare, but when you look at it like that, it looks pretty full. And that's pretty much what we have remaining, and I can always use more of those leaf pieces, I'll tell you that. Okay, so for the review, and this set here comes with 20 of those pumpkins too. 16 leaf pieces and 4 small ones. You really couldn't make a whole big spruce tree that I make, but there it is. Let's take a look here. And I'd say it's probably about 6-7 inches tall, maybe 8 inches at the very most. And is it sturdy? Well, seems like it is. And it's got some nice sharp corners and stuff like that. So the only thing I see popping off is these little tiles. That's it. Everything else is pretty well anchored. Ugh. Yeah, speaking of yawning, it's a very relaxing build, so if you're really interested in something like this is really nice. So for build experience, it's a very pleasant, very relaxing build. This is something you could build during the holidays, or it's got that holiday color to it, or you can build it for fall too. It's got more of that fall winter theme to it, or even be a great summer project. And build quality's, I'd say, average to pretty good. I don't really see this thing really coming apart, except right there. You know, let me put that back on there. And yes, I do test things out too, so there is a critical part right here. They could have, let me see if I can snap that back into place. So yeah, there is a critical part right here at the trunk. Okay. And then these tiles do easily come off, so probably about a couple critical areas. So the build quality, I'd say, is average. Play value, you know, despite what it is, you really can't play with this, but you could actually just take the tree off of here and put it inside your city, and you can actually take all this stuff off here, and it'll just be more like a MOC at that point. Even put something on top of that. The play experience is pretty much just very little. City drop-in value, you can put it in the city. I mean, you can just, like I said, use it as a float if you want to do a MOC with it. All in all, though, this is just basically a display piece, but I'm pretty happy with this. This is really nice. It was a very nice, relaxing build. It wasn't complicated or anything like that. And LEGO simplified the tree building. You can just see how pretty much uniform it is on the top, but this would also be a great introductory set for making trees. So I think that's probably what it would be more classified. Maybe educational, but other than that, did it come with any literature with the set? Like its whole intent, other than something falling down here and spilling parts all over the couch? I don't know. Let's see here. That's part of the build experience here. Just experience the behind the scenes. And it doesn't talk about anything about this at all. Pretty much it's just a, you build it and you're done. And the box tells me nothing too. The only useful thing, it tells me that it's not for sale because it's a pre-review. That's what that means. You see those in my bill, it says not for sale. That means I can't sell it. It's not for me to sell in my store, which I don't even have a store. The only thing I sell are building guides to my own ideas. I mean, I wouldn't sell building guides to this stuff because that's infringing LEGO's trademark, and two, they give them away for free anyways. So, yeah, I think this is a really nice build. I think you guys and gals will enjoy this. It looks pretty cool. It's just a decoration piece, but nonetheless, it's a nice, soothing build.